Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Metroid Fusion 100% tournament. We've got a real humdinger of a match today. We've got pollsmor versus Jeff G. My name is CrunchyLex. Tupto50 is getting set up, and he will be with me shortly. But we are just a little bit too excited about this race, and we decided we didn't want to keep you in suspense for any longer than we had to. And they're off. And both of them playing on English version, the tournament standard here in Metroid Fusion Town. Let's talk a little bit about our runners here. Pollsmor is someone who has a lot of stories around him, but there's one story that is no legend. He is a top-notch runner. 4th place on the boards, long time just pillar of just being really, really good at this game, despite the fact that he plays on a keyboard that does not even have N key rollover on it. That's just how good he is. We can't take that away from him. So he's, I would say, unquestionably the favorite to win today. Jeff G, however, no slouch, another longtime player of the game, although does not have a posted time on the 100% leaderboards. I don't think this is a category he normally runs, so he's obviously been seeded, but I was not able to find out what his PB is, so we're going to just have to play a wait and see what happens here, but both strong runners. I think honestly what's going to come down to, is pollsmor going to attempt to do something to style on his opponent? He has been known to do it if he feels he has a comfortable enough advantage. That could very well be a deciding factor. It's going to be interesting no matter how you slice it. Well, I cannot speak to Jeff's posture in his chair, but as far as play, his play is solid. So far, so good. Not much going on at the beginning here, just maneuvering around the main deck. Surprising amount of tight little movement here. You're seeing a whole lot of very careful wall jumping, knowing when to climb, when to hop, and just making sure to minimize the amount of time Samus stays in the air. That's really what this game comes down to. Fusion is a game that is very linear in its pathing, but that still gives you... Oof, I don't know where that sentence was going, but I have lost control of it. We're just going to let it go over there into the weeds while we start over. Metroid Fusion is a game that is very linear, unlike a lot of other 2D Metroids, so your time save comes more so than in any other from clean movement and pathing through a room. So you see everything, so you see pollsmor there, for example, very carefully choosing his platforms, shooting to come out of spin so he can land just a little bit sooner. Those frames you save add up, because this is a run that's over an hour and a half long. And right now, they're just going to be making their way up to the data room on the... Oh gosh, why are there so many similar names to areas? The... Not observation deck, not navigation deck, maybe navigation deck. It is the place from which you steer the asteroid, because in the future, you can steer asteroids. They somehow get better mileage than Chevrolet Suburbans, but that's just the nature of the beast. Also, here we have the first canonical mention of Adam Malkovich. Yes, that Adam, who we get to meet face-to-face in Other M. But none of that matters, because both pollsmor and Jeff are on their way to get missiles, the first power-up, a very important power-up that never stops being useful. Just like that, downloaded off the future internet, because in this game, Samus is now honestly part Metroid, and since... Here's your fun Metroid factoid. Metroid is also the Chozo word for Ultimate Warrior, so when you all made those jokes thinking you were so clever that why does Metroid crawl? Well, guess what? Samus is, strictly speaking, Metroid by the definition of the Chozo word. Hey, there you go. But now she's Metroid twice, because she is the Ultimate Warrior, and she is also part Metroid. You know, those floating space jellyfish that love you so much they kill you. But that's okay though, because even though she can't go find Chozo statues because this is not a Chozo space station, she can absorb abilities from these nasty X-parasites that look kind of like lemon jello. You wouldn't download a missile. I just did. So far it's very similar to what you might have seen in an any % run, just getting these first 2 missile tanks, no problem. These are exactly the amount we need to deal with the first boss, thankfully. The first boss, of course, being this eye door. And no, just kidding. Okay, ooh! I think pollsmor got that double. Oh, unfortunately getting that I-beam. And he did, getting 1 beam and the double on the door. pollsmor just showing how good his execution is. And now here comes the first deviation, going over here to get this extra E-tank. Unfortunately, that means you have one less missile for dealing with Arachnus, but if everything goes well and Arachnus does not give you the rolls, it should be fine. Did Jeff also... Jeff getting 0 beams and the double! Dang, we're off to a real good start here. All right, pollsmor facing off against Arachnus. Oh, getting the roll! The luck is not on his side right now. But here we go. Time for the core. Gets the first double. Going to set up for that sweet spot and gets it. Aside from that roll, execution was flawless for pollsmor right there. Let's see how it goes for Jeff. Oh my god, the immediate roll. The utter gall of Arachnus. Oh, the double roll! Oh my god. I am taking him off all of my Christmas card lists. How dare Arachnus do this? And after all the screen time I give him in Metroid 2 and AM2R, none of that. Alright, Jeff, however, managing to still bounce back from that. Both of them have Morph Ball, going to be heading on their way down to the main sectors shortly. Just a little bit more of that very precise movement here. You see Jeff here try to... Oh, he actually does not opt to go for the extra wall jump, but you do see that he is unmorphing and remorphing there before he lands. He's trying to avoid Samus bouncing with Morph Ball, saving those frames. This game is more so about frames than an entire litany of window factories. Grabbing this missile tank now. This is one you can grab later, but honestly, I'm a big fan of grabbing it now, giving you a whole lot more, freedom isn't the word, a whole lot more stability, a whole lot more security in dealing with Sector 1, which is a very missile-heavy sector on this first visit. And now on pollsmor's screen, we get to see the unwelcome house guest, that jerk who does not believe in doors or apparently in pupils. That's right, it's the SAX. She's here, and screw that door in particular. The elevator is sad. It was going to have lunch with that door later, and you can hear it crying if you listen closely. Neither of them leaving the door open for the sax, though. Maybe that's what it all comes from. If maybe they had just opened the door for the sax, none of this would have happened. In any case, looks like pollsmor is the first to make it down into Sector 1. Sector 1 being the biome that's whatever the heck SR-388 is, because that's right, this asteroid's base is in orbit over SR-388, so apparently you need to have a habitat that emulates that, because I don't know, reasons. So unfortunately, the SAX are the SAX and the X are those, you know, those inconsiderate house guests that play with your thermostat. They're essentially that. That's what's going on here. They are messing around with the climate controls in Sector SRX. So over here, we're gonna have Samus go and fix this by shooting missiles into all the HVACs right there. There's 5 of them. That's the first one. And pollsmor took a bit of a hit there. He wants to be staying as close to full energy as possible, though, to guarantee those green X drops. Keeping your missile count high so you don't have to farm when you get to the eye door is ideal. And ooh, pollsmor just getting knocked around. Biome is a perfectly cromulent word. I first learned it from playing the really, really old PC game, Star Trek The Next Generation, A Final Unity. And then it turned out it was actually a real word. So I've continued to use it because it sounds really cool. Alright, Jeff, going into that room, opting to... Alright, Jeff, I can dig it. Opting to use his normal gun to save the missiles, and... Ooh, he makes it out without taking a hit. So not only did he save missiles, he's going to get those guaranteed green drops. Losing a little bit of time, though, which is something he can't really afford to lose against pollsmor. So we'll see how this... Ooh. Then he decides to hug the wildlife. I understand, they look so cuddly, but not really going to be any particular help here. Ooh. Jeff just getting knocked around. pollsmor now... Okay. Not getting any green drops, seeing the downside to taking all those hits. But with 12 missiles, he's in good shape. No trouble whatsoever. He can try all the doubles on the upcoming eye door he wants. Although if it's anything like that first door, he's going to have no trouble. even though it is a little bit of a more challenging setup here. Oh, beams. And there we go. That was a double right there. But don't give him the 4 beams. Don't do it. Oh, you can get up to 4 eye beams between it showing its vulnerable point, but usually you'll get no more than 3. All right. Oh, pollsmor going for the newer setup here. Oh no, he's going for the horizontal setup. Doesn't quite get that second double though. He's going to be able to... Oh, he didn't get either double. I didn't see that first missile tink off, but... Ooh, that was a little bit rough. Didn't quite get the sweet spot, but he manages to kill it close to the point where you can pick it up, so that's really what matters here. Jeff now setting up for doubles as well. Having a little bit of a... Oh, no. All the beams. All the beams. Ooh, that looked good for a double, actually. He gets the double. Same number of beams as pollsmor there. He's got to be feeling pretty good about that. And he's going for the classic setup. Bonk your head on the ceiling, do 2 doubles facing down here. Has not gotten any yet that I've been able to tell. Nope. So both of them having very similar luck and execution on the charge boss here. So no particular time loss or time gain there. Now, Charge Beam, both of them have a weapon that will serve them well through the rest of the run. Charge Beam is extremely powerful, much upgraded from its Super Metroid days. The beam is now 3 pieces, 2 parts of the shot, and that flash you see appear around Samus's arm when she fires. All 3 of them do damage, so you get right up in somebody's face with it. You can do a lot. You can do a lot of hurt. And they are going to be taking full advantage of that on some upcoming rooms and bosses. So keep up with that. Ooh, Jeff having a little bit of trouble with the vertical movement there. Shot canceling a little bit early and taking a tumble. That's the danger of shot canceling those spins. Yes, it can save you time, but if you do it too early, you take a tumble, and then you're just losing a lot more time than you would have saved. pollsmor participating in his usual favorite party trick of being in the chat and just saying silly things in the chat. Sometimes he will even talk in the chat while doing things that should not be they're not conducive to divided attention, but that's just how he rolls. Just how he rolls. All right, both done with Sector 1. pollsmor first to make it back to the main deck. Jeff about to talk to Computer Dad over here. Sometimes we wish we could tell Computer Dad to stop talking, but that's just not right. You don't do that. Because you know, if you talk back to Dad, Dad just gives you the even longer speech, sometimes even pulling out the slide projector, and nobody wants that. Time for Sector 2. Sector 2 is tropical sector. It looks kind of rainforesty if you ask me. But hey, whatever. I don't know what things look like in the future. Maybe on different planets biomes are different. But what I do know is the fauna in Sector 2 is really rude. It likes to just get in your way, and if you try to hug it, it just hurts. I know love hurts, but not like this. Not like this. They're going to be making full use of the charge beam and missiles to hopefully kill the red Zoros, those obnoxious little sluggy enemies, without stopping. Because if you stop to shoot them, or if you jump over them, that loses you time. Horizontally jumping is slow. We don't like it. So pollsmor first to make it in here. Oh! I thought for a moment there he might accidentally have shot out both blocks. Very clean. Killing the Zoros as he goes, not slowing down. Has to kill both of them right here, no problem. Gets the optimal positioning. Let's see if he gets... Oh, bad movement on this Zoro right here, but that's alright. That's a good backup for it. And Tupto, welcome.
Hello. How's it going? I'm a bit out of it. I thought we started at 10.
Is it a 6-hour time difference? Wait, no, that's... Wait, I don't know what the time difference is.
Well, apparently it's not what I thought, so...
Okay. That's the important takeaway here. All right. But hey, you were just in time for Sector 2. You got pollsmor on his way to get the bombs, the saddest the bombs have ever been, and Jeff about to go unlock his doors, getting the good positioning on that one Zoro right there. Oh, unfortunately, accidentally landing on that other one. Pseudo Screw not quite strong enough to kill them, so he took the hit. You saw how much damage that did. Yeah, even though 100% is, especially later on, much safer than any percent because you just have so much health, so much ammo, early on, especially around here, the risk of death is still very, very present.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Those Zoros, 45 damage each, and they do really like to get in your way.
It's their favorite thing to do. Alright, brief detour here to grab this missile tank, then they're going to be continuing on their way to the next boss. This is a very item-heavy section here, just going to be... By item-heavy, I mean 2 extra items. 3 if you count that missile they got earlier, right after bombs. But not much here, just make their way through, avoid running into enemies as much as possible, and hopefully, when they get to the boss, get good luck on them.
It's definitely a luck boss. You can lose a lot of time to this upcoming boss, so we'll see that in just a second.
Yeah, extremely rude. Speaking of rude, let's see if pollsmor has any luck with the... Okay, yeah, the blue Zoro not in the way. Yesterday I watched both runners land on it, and that sucker really hurts. Does over 100 damage if you touch it.
Yeah, and there's not really anything you can do about it. It's just there sometimes.
Yeah.
Tanks too many missiles to kill it, and it's just not doable.
It just takes way too long. It's not worth it. It gives you a red X, but you're better off just avoiding it. Ooh, Jeff accidentally not finishing off that second Zoro, having to pop up and fire another missile. These little things are really going to come into play. pollsmor's been playing exceedingly cleanly so far.
Yeah, Fusion's movement is the #1 thing that separates the good runners from the top tier runners. Just all those tiny little movement mistakes.
And the game doesn't exactly help either. It's very easy to lose time in this game. Alright, here we go.
Game really likes to mess with you a bit.
Alright, so far, pollsmor's off to a terrible start. That's the worst luck you can get in the first set of jumps right there. Yeah, basically, there's a random number of jumps, okay, better second round there, that Zazabi will do before it does the slow jump and lets you shoot it. And you're hoping for the least number of jumps, but sometimes you just get double-digit jumps, and it's terrible, and you just gotta roll with it. Not a thing you can do about it.
I like to reset, that's what I do about it, but that's not really an option today.
It really isn't. But pollsmor getting double-doubles and sweet spot, taking care of the core as quickly as possible. So that's as good as you can hope for with that level of luck. Alright, now Jeff about to fight Zazabi as well, so maybe he can gain some time back with good jump luck. Unfortunately, we cannot ignore pollsmor's screen because pollsmor is also about to tackle the sack skip. A trick that we have seen kill runners so far in this tournament, so it's not free.
He's got it. Oh, that's a bit sketchy.
That was a little bit sketchy. Yeah. It's not super difficult, but there are a couple of minor things that can cause the sacks to behave differently and kill you, so you've got to be mindful of that. Alright, meanwhile, Jeff taking care of the sacks of the Zazabi core there. Looks like he missed one of the doubles, had to do 3 rounds instead of 2. And pollsmor opting to go right side here, which is a little bit slower, but I don't know, I guess old habits die hard.
This one that was always up for debate, wasn't it? Left or right side. But left is apparently, that's definitively faster.
It's, from my understanding, right is faster only if your timing for dropping bombs and moving is super duper
perfect. Yeah.
Jeff hesitated there. Hopefully this is not going to cause him any trouble here. Okay, good. Yeah, so for most people who are not task-like in their timing, left side is faster. But Jeff definitely had the faster sack skip there, and the slightly less clench-worthy one.
Now heading into Sector 4. Now this is where the game starts to pick up a little bit. It's been mostly just running around rooms so far, but now it's running around rooms with cool movement. There's a lot you can optimize in this sector to get a really nice, clean feeling, good looking, and most importantly, fast run through.
Oh yeah, definitely. There are a few things that feel better than a nice, clean, fluid first visit to Sector 4. Because there's a lot of things that get in your way, and being able to move around them or kill them, adapting to however they move, is just... It takes a lot of practice to get good at it, and even then, sometimes you still have to just adjust on the fly. So we'll see how it goes for the two of them. And right here from the get-go, we're going to see the first pollsmor doing what's called a couple of R shots there, using the R button, which you use to activate missiles, to release a shot without jumping out of spin. Because you have a fully charged shot, the game will let you fire it when you activate missiles. Fun little... I don't think it's intended, but it's pretty nice to have.
Yeah, I don't know if it is intended, but they took it out of Zero Mission, which came out later, so maybe it wasn't intended, and they patched it, or they just didn't want it to work that way anymore. Who knows?
Which is too bad, because later on, once you get Speed Boost, you're going to be seeing some really cool movement involving R shots.
R shots make Fusion really interesting, especially towards the end of the game.
Especially 100%, where you have a lot more chances to do cool speed booster tricks.
Yeah, any percent sadly doesn't get to use much of the R shot.
Alright, so far so good. pollsmor getting knocked around by the enemies a bit, but otherwise generally handling it pretty cleanly. Jeff taking a tumble in the first room, but there's still a lot of the sector to go. And, okay, that's right. pollsmor grabs that on the second pass, that's right.
Okay, it was stressing me out a little bit there.
I vaguely remember this happening last 100% tournament as well. pollsmor, and I think maybe one other runner do it, that I can think of, whose name's eluding me, does it on the second pass. Most folks tend to do it at the beginning because it's not particularly faster either way, it's just a preference thing.
No, I don't imagine there's really any time difference there.
The only reason I can think one might opt to do it later is since you're not really going to be taking any refills for a while, you might have a few more missiles for box if you're worried about that, although in 100% you really shouldn't be.
Yeah, you shouldn't be running out of drops at this point.
Alright, but now it's time for... I just forgot. Saris, yes. pollsmor is going to be making use of the charge beam to hopefully get Saris down in 2 cycles instead of the usual 5. Once again, taking full advantage of... That's right, the charge beam. Now he just has to get 5 missiles, ideally 2 doubles and a single. There's the first double, there's the second double. Now he just has to line up the sweet spot. Perfect.
Oh, very nice. Good fight, good fight.
Yeah, pollsmor's boss execution has just been top-notch today. The luck hasn't always been on his side with the roll and with the jumps, but he is not losing any time to execution so far on the bosses.
I would expect nothing less. pollsmor is somewhat a veteran runner.
Speaking of pollsmor, we've apparently become enough of pollsmor's friend to unlock the deep lore. We've discovered why pollsmor does the missile later. It's apparently not to mess up his splits. So apparently at some point in the past... And you know what? I can respect that, because usually given the choice between... choosing between changing your splits, I usually just make a whole new set of splits. I like that method to get through that room, though.
Yeah, if I'm gonna change a strategy, I tend to just delete that split and use whatever the first one is, and just kind of go from there.
All right, Jeff taking off in Ceres.
I think that was early.
That made
early.
I think it was a bit early. We'll find out in a moment. If this shot kills him, we know kills Ceres. We know
it's blue.
Oh, you're right. The colors. That's the thing. You have to be right in Ceres's face in order for the flash to hit.
Oh, poor Jeff.
Oh, you hate to see it happen. There we go. Still getting a free cycle at least. pollsmor looks like he was going to go for a low height shine spark, you know, just for the swag, for the fans, just instead just playing games with my heart. I can't believe
time lost for the fans. We love it. Yeah.
You know, sometimes you have to ask yourself: is it more important to be just a tiny bit faster, or to just look cool?
Ooh, a little bit of swag goes a long way, I think. It's not swag; it's RNG manipulation.
There you go. Manipulating crowd RNG.
By the way, RNG manipulation is not possible in this game because the RNG seed changes every frame, so it's just not really practical for humans in any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, we can corrupt memory, but we can't manipulate RNG. Go figure. I should have known. pollsmor filling me in a bit more of the lore. Apparently, the middle sector 4 room strat that I was particularly fond of was brought to us by long time ago retired runner Kadoom, who is also responsible for at least 2 other really swag room strats that we may or may not see later on in this run.
Yeah, Kadoom, just a bit before my time, I think, but I do know the Kadoom strats. Quite famous.
Yeah, I will certainly call them out if I see them, because I try to incorporate them where I can, because they just look really cool, and they're fast too. They're not just swag. They are the best kind of swag, the fast kind of swag. All right, Jeff grabbing that last missile tank, and pollsmor
once again no low height shine spark.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh well. All right, see some folks asking a question about three-dimensional square objects here. It's time for Sector 3, so first pollsmor is going to have to unlock the green doors and then get some super missiles, the most satisfying of missiles, and then face off against Box.
I'm wondering what strategies we're going to see against the Box fight. Is anyone using the Critty 7 strat? Famously done by C. Scotty W.
I don't expect we're going to see. It's a great strat, but I really don't think we're going to be seeing too many people use it, because it is pretty risky, especially if you've taken some hints along the way, and you have to be pretty consistent at it for it to save time as well.
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
Although the best part is if you can get most of it, but not quite all of it, it's still generally faster than the classic strat. pollsmor, I think, might have been trying to go to do some swag there. Although I don't see.
Was he going for Bob Skip there?
I think he might have. Either that, or he just might have. Either that, or he was trying to type in chat and realized
he can't. A second, yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Bob. Bye, Bob.
Bye,
Bob is, of course, that missile tank right there. All right, pollsmor about to head into the data room. I expect he'll probably try to get data spark, a very tight shine spark here.
The setup looked okay, maybe a little bit early. Ideally, you want to press down as late as possible on the pad, so you store the shine spark as late as possible, basically. So you've got more time to do the data spark, because it is tricky. You can't just hold the buttons. You have to press left and let go and press A, all in just a few frames. So you want to try and maximize that window.
Oh yeah, for sure. Data spark is one of those tricks that, yeah, it saves time, but it's so difficult to do that if you get it, it's a bonus. It's not one of those things you reset over. All right, here we go. pollsmor about to face off against Box. Looks like he was... I don't know what he was doing. Was he deliberating there? Or maybe he didn't quite move far enough to activate the fight and had to turn back around. But that was a super clean fight, though.
Yeah, very fast.
And now with super missiles, pollsmor's going to be heading on his way to Sector 6. Jeff, meanwhile, still has to get super missiles and then deal with Box himself. He's going for the shine break, doesn't get it. Neither of them getting the shine break. Unfortunate. Alright, Jeff's saying hello to Bob as well. So long, Bob. Won't be seeing you anymore.
Bye, Bob. It's good to see you, as always. See you next mission.
Someday. I don't know if Jeff's going to go for Data Spark or not. It's one of those things where you might as well try. There's no reason not to, but yeah, that's not going to work.
It's way too early. Yeah, that's not going to happen. It's not something most runners get regularly. It's a tricky one.
Yeah. Meanwhile, pollsmor's going to have to deal with a quick backstabbing right here. Because that's right, this suited individual, presumably from the Galactic Federation, is up to no good.
Mystery man, who could they be?
I don't know. Maybe we'll know someday. Maybe in a sequel.
Nintendo, please. Please.
Now, I don't know about you. I have heard some rumors that there is a 2D Metroid in the works that is connected to Metroid Fusion.
Oh, you can't get my hopes up like that, Crunchy.
I mean, look. I don't want to let my hopes get up either, but apparently the source is one that has been known to be generally reliable, so I'm at least I'm allowing myself a little bit of anticipation.
Well, Samus Returns was successful, so you'd hope that Nintendo gets that we want more.
Yeah, okay, successful is a good word for it. I like that word.
It sold well.
Yes.
Or at least well for a Metroid game.
Okay, now you're hurting me again. I'm feeling the pain.
Well, Metroid's never going to sell as much as Mario.
Few things do. Few things do. Alright, so meanwhile, this is Sector 6. It's supposed to be dark, but we have screens with backlights, so it's not.
Yeah, if you play it on the original Game Boy Advance with no light in it, it is really dark. But, you know, it's 2020 and we have backlit LCD monitors, so Game Boy's out. Yeah,
no, but I can confirm that is in fact true. When I played this game the first time, the GBASP didn't exist yet, so yes, it was very dark. Alright. Jeff exiting Sector 3. Meanwhile, pollsmor's going to have to do the dance with the sax right here. I was going to make a joke about pollsmor dancing, but I couldn't think of a way to make that work, because I don't even know if pollsmor knows how to dance. I think that's really the reason why Sax is angry. Sax invited you here to this
delightful ball, and it don't even dance.
Yeah, I was trying to think of an appropriate jazz dance, but I only know not that much about dancing, as it turns out, either.
Not even a floss.
I'm pretty sure the floss is not a jazz dance, Tufto.
Nice.
Oh my god. Now I'm just imagining, out of the very ether, artwork on the internet materializing of Fusion Suit Samus and the SAX flossing together, and a little part of me is dying as we speak.
Someone please make that.
We should probably talk about Giant Korax, which pollsmor is fighting right here.
Yes, it's another boss that we want to try and hit with the Charge Beam Flare, and pollsmor doing very well there. Gets all 4 hits. If you miss the flare on 1 shot, it's going to take 5 hits, and more if you miss more.
Oof.
Struggling a bit with the doubles, but the sweet spot was decent.
Yeah, it looks like you only got 1 double there. Normally, that's very much one you want to get triple doubles, but missed the first one and just had a little bit of trouble getting into position. Unfortunately, with the super missiles, it's harder.
Doubles.
Yeah. Oh, pollsmor.
With the JBJ.
Yo, get it! There we go. Unfortunately, infinite bomb jumps are not possible in this game because the bombs are too nerfed, but you can do jump bomb jumps, JBJs, and that is one of the few spots where it's genuinely useful, but it's not easy to set up.
No, I get it. 1 out of 5 times, maybe.
Yeah, it's... So pollsmor is going to be on his way out of Sector 6, going to stop and grab those missiles on that wall. What?
pollsmor
What do you do?
He skipped the missile. Because he did the JBJ, there's another missile in that room.
Oh.
So, yep, there he goes. Back
This
again.
feels a little... Okay, this feels a little bit cheaty since he's actually listening to commentary.
Yeah, he knows. He knows.
But yeah, it's a good point. That is the one downside of JBJ. Normally in the classic routing, you actually grab a missile up top that's on top of crumble blocks, and then you drop down and grab that other missile through the hole in the wall.
Oh, and he's got to go through Sector 6 like this. Ooh.
Yeah, the official ruling for this tournament is if you miss an item accidentally, like not intentionally, it's a 5-minute penalty. Now, as to whether or not it's faster to do this or just take the 5-minute hit, well...
No,
pollsmor's movement, it's probably still faster.
It's definitely faster going back to get it.
Yeah. Ooh, Jeff having a little bit of trouble though. Unfortunately, not quite hitting the Giant Korax with the flares, but getting the first double, real nice. Not quite getting the second one. He can still get doubles here and gain a little bit of time on Pauls. There's the second double. He just has to set up the sweet spot now.
Yeah.
And ooh.
The Y was okay. Still had to move along the X to get into spot though, which is still faster than having it just be in any old random place.
All right, there we go. pollsmor getting the missile
There
too.
it is. One missile. And now they're in the same room. Oh, we don't get a high five.
No high five. So this has allowed Jeff to gain quite a bit of time back, although pollsmor is still in the lead.
Oh, it's rough going through Sector 6 after that fight. So having to go back is especially rough.
Especially with the puffers, which are one of the most annoying enemies in Sector 6, just because you can't really... Because you have to get past them quickly, so all you can really do is hope they're not in the way. Because if they're in the way, if you shoot them, they release that purple gas, which makes their hitbox gigantic.
Yeah. Puffers suck. Puffers really suck. They're probably my least favorite enemy in the game, because always in the way, and you can't really do anything about them but hope. There is no strategy.
All right, so Pollsmor saying he actually remembered, and honestly, I'm willing to give him benefit of the doubt. Pollsmor's a lot of things, but he is not a liar, so... But with that, he's done with Sector 6. Jeff also... Wow, they're actually closer than I expected now after that.
Yeah, it's much closer now. And now we're going to go see pollsmor pull a secret key, and Jeff's going to take the lead.
Hey, as we have learned from past tournaments, pulling a secret key is no guarantee you're going to lose a race.
That's certainly true. pollsmor especially knows that. Yeah.
Yeah, shout outs to C Scotty W for pulling a secret key and still winning.
So
we'll
for
talk
the
about
uninitiated,
there, yeah. Oh, yeah, we have a little bit of time. Go ahead.
For the uninitiated, pulling a secret key is when you unlock the doors to get ice missiles, but then don't get ice missiles. It's very slow, and it's a long walk of shame back to pick up ice missiles.
And not to mention, it's also, you have to be ignoring a lot of things, because normally if you have ice missiles, you see Nightmare flying around in the background of this gigantic room Pollsmor is in. So you have to willfully ignore the fact it's not flying in the background and the room is not shaking all the way back to the, all the way back. And also, I mean,
it's surprisingly easy not to notice that. But as soon as you get into that hallway and the emergency klaxons aren't going off, that's when you know. But I have seen runners go as far back as talking to Adam, so
yeah.
You never know with this.
Yeah, it's true. You never know, because honestly that's the biggest danger I find with Sector 5. We visit this sector pretty much more than any other sector, and you go through a lot of the same rooms, often in the same directions. So when you play this game enough, sometimes you just autopilot without thinking about it, and you autopilot the wrong thing.
Yeah. This room Jeff's just come into now, this room, we come through it a number of times, and it gets confusing sometimes.
Yeah, and it's not even the first time too. I know that I've on several occasions on the second visit, instead of going to the data room,
get the data room.
Yeah.
Oh god, gone to unlock missiles again. Oh yeah. No.
Yeah. So no, the biggest danger in Sector 5, more so than any percent, since you do more detours in Hundo, it's very easy to accidentally go the wrong way if you're not paying attention. Which I think is more of a threat when you're like actually streaming it and trying to like read chat and talk to chat, so you're juggling more things.
Yeah, I try not to read the chat on a tournament race, but...
But Pollsmor's a braver soul than I suppose.
Pollsmor is a braver soul than I. He certainly is. I'm always impressed by his ability to tab out and get into chat.
Okay, so he's up. So yeah, he seems to do slightly different item routing too, because there's items he's passing up, which he will be through those rooms again. You can get it later, but you generally see folks grab it now. Like the puzzle room at the bottom of that vertical room.
It's a variation, that one. Some players do it early, some do it late. Yeah. I tend to mix it up a bit because I don't care about the sanctity of my splits. And because I get confused and forget it sometimes.
Well, honestly, that's not necessarily a bad thing, though. That's one of the things that's nice about Fusion. Some items, there is a convenient time to go back and get them, be it during cleanup or like during a later visit to the same sector. I mean, not all items, but...
No, not all items are equal in that regard.
Uh-oh. Here it is. The moment that everyone who likes spamming in chat has been waiting for. It's the emergency. And I don't think chat is quite grasping the gravity of the situation. Okay, there we go. Oh, Oh, thank goodness. If there's one thing that chat points has added to Fusion is that now people have started highlighting messages during emergency.
Yeah.
Yesterday, it was so good.
We got an upside down Frankazee in here.
Oh no, not Zrinkaref.
Oh, okay, that's Frankazee faces. Oh, cheats.
Feels good.
Don't you just love Twitch culture? We got spam messages and we got dogs. What more could you want?
I don't know. I really don't know. Oh wow, that's now, we got the Franker Z song in chat as well. Good stuff. Goodness gracious, I'm just basking in the Franker Z right now. Don't mind me. I guess we should probably talk about emergency, shouldn't we?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's dogs. It's too exciting.
Yeah, so emergency is essentially the game gives you 6 minutes to go fix the boilers, although you don't need anywhere near 6 minutes. And basically, it's just a test. Basically, so you can learn to use the ice missiles. But we already know how to use the ice missiles because we play this game too much. So we're just basically optimizing, freezing the stretchies, jumping on things, going through the rooms. If ideally you get a time, an end time of about 4:30 plus, although 4:20 plus is still, you know, reasonably good for a tournament.
Respectable, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if you're getting idle beams.
Yeah. Oh, pollsmor. He was on a real strong pace, but falling there is going to lose him some time. Oh no, beams! 4:41 door time is all right. It's not. He could have had a much closer 4:50 time. Let's see how it goes with the doubles. This is a 4 missile core. Ideally, we'll get double doubles and double doubles.
2 double. No sweet spot, but the sweet spot is very tricky if you're getting the double double.
Yeah, but in this case, it's definitely better to get the double double than it is to line up the sweet spot because of
the way
that beam cores work. So 4:27 is still a very strong race time. Can't really complain about that. All right, Jeff. Now
Jeff is on very nice pace through. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
What? Tufto, look what you've done! You said, look what you've done! Oh my God! All the side hoppers.
Commentator's curse.
Oh. Oh no! Alright, let's see how doubles go for him. Personally, I have a harder time setting up the first double and the second one. He tinked that first double a little bit early on that jump, it looks like. Actually, he might have gotten that second double. No, he didn't.
No, I don't think so.
Ooh. 4:18 looks like.
I respect the strategy there. So stand on the pad so it's already in the right...
Uh-oh, pollsmor.
Oh.
Okay, so... This is fine. pollsmor mentioned this yesterday. Was talking. He's been having some internet trouble, so I think he was going to be stream on tethered internet if necessary because the internet was
his phone, I do believe. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a possibility that his data might have run out, and he said he was not going to pay extra to keep streaming if that happened. So we can't blame him. So we'll see what happens. He might not come back. No, he's back.
Oh, he's back. We got feed. Yes. Welcome back, pollsmor.
Yes, the stream is in fact back.
So that was obviously a splice. The rest of it's a task from here.
Obviously, he's spliced back in the 3 minutes he lost from the.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. His positioning is in fact consistent with where he was before. We unfortunately did not get to see his climb. Oh, Jeff has blocked himself off by accident. This vertical climb here is one of the cooler bits of movement in Sector 3, I think, just because there's multiple ways to do it, but if you do it right, it's always just really cool. Just bounce between freezing, wall jumping, and just going off of the stretchies. It looks really cool.
Yeah, when well optimized, it's really slick. But it's oh no, some extra door transitions for Jeff there.
Oops. Oh yeah, if you want to play a game that makes you feel really cool when you move cleanly but doesn't doesn't like reform your hands into hideous gnarled claws like Super Metroid. Metroid Fusion is a really good one for that. And this is coming from somebody who plays both, so my hand is already starting to form into a claw, but I still feel really cool playing this game.
It would be nice if the Game Boy Advance SP was a slightly more ergonomic controller, but it's not the end of the world. Pollsmor once again. Yeah.
I'm just going to assume he got the impossible strat. Actually, no, he was jumping, so he wasn't going for impossible strat. Nope.
We got a frame there. That is not impossible strat.
Nope. But he did get the shine break, which is important.
He's saving the animals.
Yeah, he's local recording, so if there's any doubt later on, we can obviously compare, although...
Oh.
That was all right. Those animals were all right,
That was
actually.
okay. It looked like it was going to be slow, but then they all come out at once. So.
Yeah, it's always that third Edikun. We always seem to catch it when it's in the bathroom.
Yeah, sometimes you see it run past the door as soon as it slides open, and you know it's going to take a long time.
Yeah.
Because I think if he runs past that door, he's got to run all the way to the end of the room and back. That is not... don't take my word for that. That is just how I've experienced it.
Yeah, that's my understanding as well. Although, I do remember one time, and one time only, they were all right at the door and jumped out immediately. Like, they were all out of the door before the fanfare finished, and I've never witnessed it again.
Wow, that's a really short fanfare as well.
I know. It was essentially the perfect animals, and I got it back when I was still doing 55s and any percent, so I've not since seen it again, but I witnessed it, and I'll always treasure that memory.
That'd be nice.
I see a lore question in the chat, so I feel obligated to answer.
I just saw an animal run past Jeff's door there, so...
That was actually pretty good.
It was fairly slow. I think it was slightly slower than Pollsmor's, at least.
Well, it is implied that these are the same animals from Super Metroid. Although we don't know, obviously. But it is... Samus seems to recognize them, and she says they seem to recognize her, too.
Says she recognizes them, yeah. So I'm fairly certain it is the same animals.
There's a reason the joke with Super Metroid is, do you either save the frames or make Metroid Fusion canon? Meanwhile, both of them heading down to Sector 5. Pollsmor first to go back. So if anyone was sitting here thinking, gosh, this game sure isn't loud enough, don't worry, power beams have got your number. Perfect.
You're welcome.
They just really have not decided what they want to do with that sound. Oh, Pollsmor going for a... We recently retimed
looks like he got it.
Yeah, we recently retimed this, and it's not actually faster than just running through the rooms, but you know what? Dang it, it looks cool, and you only lose like half a second.
I do believe it is faster. But there's another strat that is slightly faster than that still, which is shine sparking up that shaft. But in order to do that, you have to get a frame perfect landing shine charge. So press down on the frame that you land with the shine spark. Yeah, it's hard to say the least.
Yeah. The old frame perfect shine charge. Pollsmor having to go for the very tight wall jump and jump extend there to grab that instead of freezing the Ripper. And now opting to get this, which I actually missed it, but I think Jeff got it earlier.
Yeah, I missed that as well.
That's always the one downside to races like this Fusion, where there's a lot going on in a short span of time. Sometimes you have to watch one screen and something happens on the other screen. You just miss it. I've only got two eyes and they have to look at the same thing.
It would be good if I could focus on both. like I'm going to line up my face like right between them. It's not possible. It's not possible.
No. All right, and there's apparently a sax chase here. You can tell by the music, but Paul's is fine.
Yeah, that's my favorite chase in the room because you never actually see SAX. If you do it fast, at least.
Yeah. Usually at worst, you see maybe a little bit of the spotlight.
A bit of spotlight and always an ice beam.
Yeah, pollsmor unfortunately getting bad Ripper luck there, having to wait for it to move a little bit.
And they're so slow moving.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeff showing off the more traditional strat there, freezing Ripper to get up here. If you're a bit iffy on the wall jump, there's... Oh, pollsmor! He's going for the Kadoom strat! He gets it! Oh, I love this strat so much! It's so cool.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm not sure if that one's actually faster.
It is the exact same speed.
The exact same speed, okay.
Pretty much. I seem to remember that we used to think that was a little bit faster than I think Scotty retimed it, and it turns out that they were the same speed, so everyone just does the simpler one twice.
Yeah.
I just do the Kadoom strat because I hate myself.
Is the authority on these things, so I'm inclined to believe him.
Yeah, pollsmor making it through that puzzle room right there. That's a bit of an annoying one. Oh, Jeff! Oh, Jeff! He's gonna have some trouble with the sax here. He dropped that bomb very late.
Yeah. It's alright.
Oh, I got worried there.
It's no problem.
It's fine.
He laid that power bomb low, though. He's gonna have to lay a second.
Yeah, you have to lay that one high to blow out the ceiling here. Hopefully, it doesn't mess up his spacing. Oh, he gets a good Ripper position.
Yeah, you don't get him much better than that.
All right, Paul's done with Sector 5. Now it's time to go back to the ship and explain to Dad why you took the car out when he said you couldn't do it.
Samus, return to your ship, now!
Samus returns, home in disgrace because Dad found out. You know, this game is very lore heavy, but it's still sometimes fun to come up with your own, just fill in the gaps a little bit yourself, because it's a little bit, what's that called, emergent gaming. You create the fun for yourself.
Who needs lore? You know, we get our own lore.
I deny your lore and substitute my own.
Yeah.
Alright, Jeff getting that puzzle room, no trouble.
Surprised pollsmor dropping the bomb so early.
Yeah, that one's a bit weird.
It is really weird, yeah.
You drop it in the right spot, you won't have those extra blocks, but I think it's relatively precise, not like pixel perfect, but you have to know specifically where to drop it.
Yeah, there's a couple spots you can place it in there. If you put it like right at the bottom, it's fine. And there's somewhere else you can do it, and it is also fine. But otherwise, it's strange because it starts breaking the blocks, and they kind of interrupt each other. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's basically lighting a fuse in two spots.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to put it.
And here we have the animals, and there's the photobomb. Unfortunately, when you play on JP, you don't get the photobomb because the text is too fast. But hey, the good news is now we're on to one of the more exciting bits of the run, the Boss Gauntlet. Just a sequence of bosses in rapid fire that can all be pretty challenging, or at the very least cost you time if you're not playing clean, so we'll see what happens. pollsmor deciding that he hates plants today and just taking the extra time to blow up all those vines.
And apparently likes ledge grabs too, so get an extra couple of those in.
pollsmor, this isn't 0%, come on.
You know, some runners skip that in any percent. The JRP doesn't grab that.
Well, it's one of those things where once you get good enough that you stop taking hits on a lot of bosses, you really don't need the 4E tanks. Because 4 is
No,
the...
you don't need it.
Yeah. All right, Jeff almost back to the ship, and pollsmor about to face off against Yakuza, which is not, in fact, affiliated with Japanese organized crime, but what Yakuza can do to you is still very much a crime. Here we go. pollsmor's going to get caught and shake free to force the cycle faster. Hopefully, nope, not there. Hopefully, trying to avoid the dreaded 4-cycle Yakuza. Uh-oh. Is he going to get the 4-cycle?
Oh, okay, we got it on 3.
Got it on 3. But now phase 2, which is very much a reactionary one. You have to be on your toes for this one. It moves quickly or slowly. Patterns are random. Spitting things from its mouth to block your shots. You just have to be on your toes. And gets the first double. These ice doubles are no joke.
Wow, that was a really low height to get the double from. That's very well done. Triple doubles, very impressive.
Very nice. Yeah. No, I think we've alluded to it before, but never quite outright said it. The more missile upgrades you get, the harder doubles get, because the timing is different, and it's also a little bit less generous every single time you upgrade, so you have to learn 4 sets of double timings throughout the course of the game, and that's just how it is. There's really nothing you can do about it.
It's even more than that, because you got the old core beams as well, which behave totally differently, and doubles on those are a nightmare. Though we do have some good setups for them now, except plasma. Plasma is still a bit out there. Oh, and of course wave doubles are ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think Monkey, who raced yesterday, is the only person to have got them. I might be wrong, but that's with a lot of save states and retrying.
Yeah, he's also promised to get them in tournament races, but hasn't yet. So, Yo, pollsmor, yes. Yeah,
this was a discussion that was being had in Discord earlier, whether the Notori clip is faster or not, but apparently it is.
Oh, an RTA, absolutely.
Yeah,
and even IGT.
You skip out on some door transitions. I don't think it's faster IGT in 100%. It's definitely faster any percent.
Oh yeah, because you have to get that extra.
There's an extra power bomb tank in that room, yeah. But we have to go through that room in cleanup anyway. Yep. So might as well save ourselves a couple door transitions and get it later.
Yep, and pollsmor in fact has also remarked, "Watch me forget this item later on."
Yeah, I'm contemplating whether or not I want to include that strat in my run, because I will absolutely forget it.
Well, unfortunately with RTA now, there's really no reason to, because the time you save from playing on Japanese version just completely overshadows that. So
no, that's true.
That was my
certainly relevant this tournament though, where we're going to be seeing a lot of English get run.
Yeah. Of course, very much at the runner's discretion. English is the default, but if both runners are okay with doing Japanese, they will in fact run on Japanese and save some time there. Ooh! Jeff getting shot by Ice Beam, taking over 200 damage. Sax is no joke. It will kill you. Oh, God!
Woo!
Jeff, please. Okay, he's good, he's good.
Easy.
Thankfully, he's stopping
not to do the clip.
Oh my god! The key hunters! So, key hunters are something you learn to hate in this game, because the Zoros from earlier have now evolved. They are key hunters, and they do so much damage. Even with Gravity Suit you'll have later, they do like 100+ damage, I want to say.
I think it's 127, maybe 128. I'm not certain, but it's a lot.
They chase you.
Yeah, so if you're playing low percent, 0 or 1%, they will one-shot you.
Yeah, they kill your runs. And they're mean. Alright, but Jeff about to face up against Notori. There's really not much to say about Notori, and 100% Notori is a joke boss. You just spam missiles into its face and it dies.
Missiles, 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 and it's over.
Yep, and...
but you do want to stand... Ooh, Jeff having a little bit of trouble getting into position. Okay, it should be alright now. If you stand right on the edge of that platform, you can't get shot by the flowers, which is a strange oversight, really. I don't know what Nintendo was thinking there.
Well, you have to be really, really far off the edge. Like, so much so that you have to be purposely trying. You don't wind up that close to the edge by accident.
I think you underestimate the casual player. And their capacity to do weird things.
Well, of course it could potentially... Oh, pollsmor. Pollsmor, he's doing it!
He's doing it.
He's doing it! He's doing it! He's doing it! Yeah! The legend!
No way!
We can... Oh!
Almost there, almost there.
But...
I have no doubt he's gonna do a race this tournament and go all the way. But that's a really difficult trick, and pollsmor is one of the only runners on the Fusion leaderboards that even considers going for it.
It's one of those tricks where if you get it, I think we recalculate it, and because of the extra time it takes to set it up, it actually ends up being about the same as the Shine Spark.
So good though.
It looks incredibly cool, but the problem is if you don't make it all the way, it is no longer
it's a lot slower, yeah.
And it's so hard because the way the game handles shine sparking through broken doors, you have to be jumping up through them, otherwise you just land. So it's really finicky.
Yeah, this game has some weird bugs like that.
Or even just that, unfortunately, the way the game handles certain things just makes things harder for us. But that's all right because it's just
that's
a little bit
part of the charm. Yeah,
exactly.
Part of the charm, and sometimes those mechanics are exploitable for speed. So you can't complain too much.
Yeah, like our shots.
Like our shots, exactly.
pollsmor going for the spicy strat to get the E-Tank without using the power bombs, and now it's time for Nightmare. So, something I always like to do here is ask everybody, once Nightmare gets to Phase 3, tell me what you think it looks like, because I have not been able to figure it out, and the jury is still out on that one. There's Phase 1. And there's Phase 2. Okay. And there it is.
Yeah, no, it's something gross, whatever it is.
Yeah, Nightmare is a cool fight once you get the hang of it, but it's definitely one that's a bit obnoxious to learn because there really is no set strat for it. You just have to kind of learn to get a feel for it.
Yeah, you got to get a feel for it. There are somewhat consistent setups, but it's very easy to get it just a little bit wrong, and then things like you have no idea what's going to happen after that.
That was a really good fight.
It was a really impressive fight. It was triple doubles, I believe.
Yeah, it was triple doubles. And Jeff unfortunately did not get the charge all the way down, so is going for one of the backups. There we go, getting the Nightmare Shine Spark. Shine Sparking is an extremely useful method of movement. The downside is, since there's an animation for the wind-up and the bonk, you lose a little bit of time on either end, but for really long ones like that, it's a time save, no matter how you slice it.
Yeah, I remember when I first got into speedrunning Fusion, I just wanted to Shine Spark everywhere. I'm like, but it's fast! But actually, it turns out it's not always fast. Sadly. Yeah, those animations will kill you. It's a sad thing.
Alright, so pollsmor now in Underwater Sector 4, which is, I'd say, probably the last dangerous part of the run. because the enemies here, even with gravity suit, do a lot of damage. It's not uncommon to see some runners who maybe get hit a bunch lose half their health by the time they get to the red door lock. So
yeah, it's a bit RNG dependent as well. Just like enemy spawn placements. Sometimes you can just go through your normal route and not touch a single thing. Sometimes you'll get hit by everything.
Yeah, and the
so
big
you've
fish.
got to be able to adapt. The big fish are hard hitters. They are mean.
And there are a lot of them, especially in this first part of the sector. But pollsmor making it through only taking about 150 damage. Oh no, Jeff!
Oh, Jeff!
Oh no! That's the risk of that strat. It's faster, but if you fall, he's going to have to go all the way back around to get that E-tank now.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Oh god, that's one you really hate. That's
one of the longer ones to go back and collect.
Yeah.
It's because it's not on the way.
Nope.
It's really not on the way.
Not even close to being on the way. But he's got to focus and take care of Nightmare, so let's see how Nightmare cooperates. The way Nightmare works is that Nightmare follows either Samus or an invisible dot. No, really. And so you have to kind of try to figure out which one it's following and get to appear in its entirety on the screen so it'll stop moving quickly. And Jeff managing to pull that one out pretty well.
You know, it's the same invisible dot that the yellow and green X chase around the room. Every room has one.
Really? I actually didn't know that.
There you go.
Well, I learned something new today. Alright, well thankfully both of them now have the best looking suit in the game. Gravity suit in this game is actually really good. I like the color scheme a lot. But now Jeff is going to have to take that detour.
Gorgeous suit. Gorgeous suit. Big upgrade on Daria.
Oh yeah. Meanwhile, pollsmor is going to try to set up a very tight shine spark here.
Yeah, this is a nice trick.
So far so good.
Yes, it's good.
He's
got it, no doubt.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
It's easy to accidentally bonk on that slope, because in this game, if you're not holding a direction, you'll just bonk into slopes, and it's terrible.
I more often just bonk on the wall, having jumped too high after the spark.
Yeah, that's why if I'm a bit unsure, I always like to land and then shine spark. You lose a few frames, but it guarantees you'll hit the slope.
Yeah, it's tense though doing that, because those few frames, when you don't have a lot of them, it's it can get you a bit nervous sometimes.
Yeah. Alright, pollsmor now has diffusion missiles. Now, diffusion missiles are pretty cool. They freeze things in the radius, but they have one big drawback, which you actually saw pollsmor, well, get rid of there. They take forever to charge. They take like 6 seconds to charge? Something really hilariously long.
Charge time, yeah. Fortunately, you're able to charge through doors, much like you can with the charge beam. So when we do have to use them, start charging before you go through a door, and it will be done by the time you get out.
Meanwhile, Jeff showing off why this is the worst room in the game, getting stuck in a corner, getting knocked around. Oh my god, he's just had a real bad time in this room. This room is terrible.
Yeah. There's a really cool strat in that room using a number of frame perfect tricks, but it's the best way to get through that room. You can shine spark through that room.
I think I know what that is, and that sounds really terrible to get.
Yeah, you've got to get a frame perfect right up press. So, like letting go of right, frame perfect jump, the frame after you let go of that. Then you've got to get another frame perfect input when you land. After that, you can actually get the shine spark. But yeah, it's not easy. So don't expect to see that anytime soon.
I don't know what you're talking about. That sounds completely RTA viable.
Yeah, just get 102 already. Yeah.
Gosh. All right, so we didn't mention what pollsmor did it, but this room Jeff is in will have a recurring puzzle element. Kill enemies and have them reform as gold versions of themselves. We saw it earlier, but we're going to be seeing it again. I do actually appreciate that this game has tries to do a bit more with puzzles instead of just always just being, oh, find the hidden block.
Yeah.
Although some of the puzzles are kind of rude.
And the game definitely does do find the hidden block.
Yeah, although I will say the game combining X-ray scope and into the power bombs, so just power bombs reveal things, is a much better way of doing it.
Yeah, and the game gives you plenty. Oh, placed it a bit early. Poor pollsmor. Yeah, the game gives you plenty of power bombs, so you should be all right to power bomb like every room you enter, more or less.
No, yeah. Say what you... People will argue up and down about which Metroid, 2D Metroid is the better speedrun, but definitely from just a casual play standpoint, Metroid Fusion brought so many quality of life improvements to 2D Metroid that it's just controlling Samus feels so intuitive and great in this game.
Yeah, movement in this game is really nice.
Oh, Jeff. Jeff's gonna have to do some intended strats. Meanwhile, pollsmor having to face off against Box, brought to you by Microsoft. The big trick here is water's electrocuted, and if you're close enough to hit those diagonal shots, you're close enough for Box to knock you off the ceiling, so you have to be really tight on your jumps and your shots, otherwise you just get knocked into the water. And a little bit to the left, but still gets us...
Gets the sweet spot.
Yeah. And now with the wide beam, and not wide beam, the wave beam, you know, same number of letters, starts with the same letter, that's my excuse. Samus's beam is now exceedingly powerful, truly the best weapon in her arsenal.
And it looks really cool.
Looks like you're shooting DNA. It's the sort of thing that Jurassic Park wishes they had.
Yeah. Jeff Goldblum, eat your heart out.
Now I'm just imagining like 20th Century Fox presents Metroid Fusion, starring Jeff Goldblum as Adam Malkovich. I'd watch that.
I'd watch that, yeah.
Meanwhile, pollsmor showing off that you jump through the door, those 3 Metroids actually line up in a vertical. Oh my god, why?
Yeah, if you shoot in this room with your wave beam, it gets laggy. There's a lot going on there, and the system just can't really handle it.
Yeah, the fun thing about the wave beam, or I guess more specifically the plasma, is that instead of just... It pierces enemies, but it doesn't just pierce enemies, it does damage per frame that it's in their hitbox. So Metroids that you can't hurt, it's just calculating, yep, can't hurt them, yep, can't hurt them, 60 times a second, and that with everything going on, the game just... Hang on, I need a minute.
So, text o'clock, is it?
I guess so. It
really is a Metroid Fusion race.
Yep, LMT, lore meantime. I was trying to come up with a joke with Greenwich, but I couldn't think of it, okay? I'm rolling with what I got.
that would do. That would do.
Alright, so now heading off to the final Idor boss. pollsmor has to grab a couple of extra items. We're going to see some cool stuff with diffusion missiles here, because they do break missile blocks with those icicles.
They break missile blocks. I don't think they break other types of blocks.
You're right. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
I have a lot of words I need to keep straight. I'm not doing a very good job of them right now.
You get most of the words. That'll do.
And except, I do not get 5-minute penalties in real life for missing words.
No, no. You have to sit in the naughty corner because you missed the word.
Aww. More fun with Diffusion right there, blowing out those 3 missile blocks. And so you saw that gold pirate down there? Well, it turns out, the game wants you to shoot them in the back, but the way it checks for that is exploitable, our favorite kind of check.
Yeah, the game assumes that if you are facing the same direction as the enemy, you are behind it, but that's not how it works. So you can shoot your beam, then turn around and kill it, even though you're supposed to shoot it in the back.
Yep, so I get what they're doing. They're trying to save space because cartridge space costs money, but that optimization of coding...
Space. Yeah.
Oh, look! Or rather, oh, listen.
Yeah, definitely listen. One of yesterday's streams, the game audio was very low, but you were still really able to hear Ridley.
Look, I'm not saying Ridley is loud, but I can confirm that while I was playing Metroid Fusion in a room full of TVs with a lot of people talking, as soon as he opened his beak, it cut through the noise in the room. And, yo, pollsmor getting some doubles. Diffusion doubles are extremely hard to get.
And at the same time, Jeff having a decent fight with Xbox.
Yeah. No dangers there, just has to finish it off, lining up for the sweet spot. Perfect.
Nice sweet spot. But now for pollsmor, we have reached cleanup.
Oh, yes.
Favorite bit of the run. So we've finished all the main game objectives, pretty much. So now we've just got to pick up all the items.
Yeah, this is one of those things where you know that obnoxious cliche where people are like, this is where the speedrun really begins. That's not really true here, but this is definitely the unique and most challenging part of the run.
I don't think it really is unfair to say the speedrun starts here. I mean, obviously, it doesn't, but there's so many tricks in such a tight succession, and all of them can go wrong and be quite costly.
Yeah, this is definitely the most Metroid-y feeling part, because there's multiple ways of going through rooms or of doing things, and the faster ones are definitely the most challenging.
Yeah, in fact, we got a new route for Sector 3 just recently.
Yes, because of the RTA.
I wonder if we're going to see anybody going for that today.
I sure hope so. Now we're going to start right here with the first of potentially time-lossy tricks here. Pollsmor's going to have to take this charge to the right and take it all the way around so he can shine spark through these blocks. But if he messes up, he would have had to go through 6 more door transitions. You don't want to do that.
Yes, a long one.
Oh, he tried to pause buffer so he wouldn't get that door transition.
I think he started on the platform a little bit too late, so it wasn't going to work regardless.
So you're already starting to see some pretty ridiculous stuff in cleanup, just some real type movement, just knowing how to hit the blocks and get through quickly. But this is one of the easier sectors, my friends. This is one of the easy sectors. It only gets harder.
Except Sector 4. But I mean, technically we've kind of done that.
Yeah, we already finished Sector 4 cleanup.
But we are going to pass through Sector 4 again.
Yeah, so you can still lose time, but it's not difficult to get through there. Oh, Paulsmore! What the heck was that?
What are you doing, Pols?
He accidentally got it. I'm not. You know what? I'm just going to hashtag just Paulsmore things. All right, now comes. When we were talking about our shots earlier, we're coming up on one of the cooler uses of it right here. One of the first big uses.
Jeff struggling with that gold pirate there.
And here we go. Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not surprised to see Pollsmor on the.
Yeah, that's one of the best uses of our shot there, since it doesn't pull you out of spin. If you are space boosting, it lets you fire a charge shot without losing your speed booster speed.
So you can open doors and go through many, many rooms.
Just like that, Paulsmore's almost done with Sector 1, just has one more thing to get. Jeff finishing off those gold pirates on his way to the Shouty Boy. Jeff, no. Don't play in the green goop.
Oh, it's got bubbles.
I know.
Because this is what we need. More Ridley.
He demands attention. Paulsmore making real good use of space boosts. Space boosts are faster than shine sparks just because of the bonk animations and wind up animations. But the big downside is if you land while you're trying to go through a bunch of speed booster blocks, you have to go back and get the charge again. So you have to be really on point with your space jumps. And space jump hates you. It just does. I don't know how else to put it. It's a hateful item.
Yeah, these doubles are really tight. I think I've got triple doubles once ever, and I was so excited that I got triple doubles that I lost some time.
Yeah, I think I managed to get, I want to say, double doubles on that, but I've never quite gotten the triple. The window is so tight, and it's not just you're jumping, you also have to have it coming in at the correct angle, so there's a lot more to consider. Alright, and Paulsmore looks like, I don't think he went left first.
No, he did not go left first. Yeah, this is the old route.
Yep. Yeah, because like I think we mentioned this earlier. I don't remember if we did. The leaderboard switched to RTA, so the most recent switches to the route have all had to do with basically going through rooms differently to do stuff like minimize door transitions and the like. And in Sector 3, if you do the bottom left first, you can actually do the top, just exit through the top door of this vertical room instead of going all the way back around, and it's faster because there's fewer transitions.
Yeah, it was quite recently that we made the switch to RTA. So RTA strats are kind of in their genesis at the moment. So we're just starting to see some players using them, some players not using them. But I have no doubt if in another year or two that everyone will be using the RTA strats everywhere, pretty much.
Oh yeah. And I also hope that we can find some more, because this game has been pretty heavily optimized just because of the fact that you can't break the event system without memory corruption. So finding new and interesting refinements and just route adjustments is just very refreshing in a game where not much routing has changed in quite a long time.
No. I think the last route change was another 100% route change, and different direction around the station during cleanup. So this is the new route, and I don't think anyone uses the old route now.
That change was so old that when I started running this game, we already did the new one. So wow, gosh.
Yeah, I think it is like all.
Alright, pollsmor finishing up Sector 3 here. Jeff making good time through Sector 1, not having any trouble with that obnoxious powerbomb tank.
Oh dear, my computer seems to be unhappy with me at the moment.
Alright, pollsmor making sure to remember that final powerbomb. That one's real easy to miss, but enough of that. Into Sector 5, almost done with the odd-numbered sectors. Unfortunately, this does mean that once pollsmor finishes Sector 5, he's on his way to Sector 6. And, well, Sector 6 is the hardest sector in cleanup.
Sector 6 is infamous among speedrunners. There's a lot you can mess up on. But there's also a lot of potential time save there. So.
Yeah, I think that my favorite thing about it is there are some things that will just screw you up no matter what, and there are some things that are not that hard until you want to do them fast. Then the fastest strats just make them a lot more difficult.
Yeah, there are some really interesting strategies in Sector 6 cleanup that really turn the difficulty up.
And I fully suspect we'll see pollsmor go for all of them.
I have no doubt, yeah. There's
So here we go.
mostly space jumps.
Oh yeah. Right from the get-go, the game wants you to shine spark left into another room, but if you space boost, you can actually get an item far earlier than intended and skip an entire sequence of lining up shine sparks. So here he goes. He just has to not bonk here, and perfect. Now just has to line up a jump, and no problem. That's exactly what you want to see there.
Yeah, very clean.
Yeah, even the fastest Shine Spark variant is way slower than that. By many seconds. In a game where frames matter, yeah.
That jump is fairly easy. Once you know, like, there's a rhythm to it. Once you've got the rhythm, it's very easy. As a casual player, you'll struggle to get that one, though. Now going back to the restricted section.
I'm sorry, I'm just over here trying to reconcile how I've never once been able to do that stupid space jump.
I mean, just the short one where you have to, not the one right across the room through the maze, I suppose. Oh, Jeff is going for the new route.
RTA strats from Jeff. I like it. I like it a lot. Calls were meanwhile coming up on the one trick that you cannot skip. The most annoying powerbomb tank in the run.
Yeah, it's not even hard, just annoying.
And... okay, that works.
That'll do.
The reason that one's obnoxious is because the intended strat is to freeze the enemies and use them as a bridge, but that takes forever, so we just kill the enemies and go for a frame-perfect jump on crumble blocks.
You know, I never actually realized that was the intended strat until I saw someone do it just yesterday. I'd never even considered that as a strategy.
I'm pretty sure I did it when I played the game casually, but then again, that was also many, many years ago. Oh, pollsmor! He landed by accident. If you can carry a space boost all the way through this room, you can get that E-tank without having to run back and forth a few extra times.
Yeah, it's a nice little time save, that one. Because it's very slow having to go back through the room and set up the run.
Alright, now Jeff is about to show off why this route is a little bit quicker. Doesn't have to drop all the way back down. This Shine Spark just carries him all the way to the top, just leaves through that door.
Can't forget this power bomb though.
Nope. And it drops you on the right side of this room, which otherwise you wouldn't get to see. All right, Jeff, about done with Sector 3, just has a couple more things to grab. pollsmor heading into Sector 4, which is just passing through. Don't worry about it.
And that's Sector 4 complete.
And now
Just
Sector
done.
2, which is...
It is another difficult one.
Yeah, I'd say the second hardest after Sector 6.
Yeah, definitely. Mainly because of this room coming up right now.
Crumble City. Yeah, pollsmor is usually pretty good about dropping a power bomb. Thank you, pollsmor, just in the right moment. So you can see that this entire room is made up of crumble blocks. Oh no! So you're at the mercy of space jump, which is never anything you ever want to be in this game. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! That's why. That's why.
Let's go back. That's not normally the one people fail.
It's anywhere it's possible to fail. Just, oh god, the space jump in this game is the worst, and I hate it.
It kind of makes sense on paper, but when you start trying to actually use it, it's a bit janky.
Yeah. Yeah. Sector 2 not done yet, though. There's still a couple more rooms of trouble. There's the Shine Spark chain room, and then there's the room where you can either freeze rippers or go for more frame-perfect jumps. And also key hunters. Key hunters everywhere.
You don't have to do that one frame perfectly, because you've got a couple windows to start a spin jump after the first block is broken. It's still really awkward though.
Yeah, it's a one tile gap in which to do that. It's not easy.
No, certainly not.
Goes
for it anyway, and fails. Gets it second try.
That's what can happen sometimes. Thankfully, not as costly as missing anything in Crumble City. So.
Oh, Jeff. I did think that was the wrong block, but.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Jeff, please. There we go. There we go. Second tank going a lot more smoothly.
Jeff.
And pollsmor remembered!
He remembered to go back. I thought about it myself, but I wasn't going to say in case he's listening. But well done, pollsmor, for remembering.
Yep. Now just has one room full of Shine Spark chains. He's probably also going to be opting to go for the... I want to say it's a frame-perfect crouch to get the charge. It's faster that way.
I think, again, you've got a couple frames to do it. But it's right after a text box closes, so it just kind of makes it awkward to time, like, in your mind. It's tricky. It's tricky.
Yeah. Oop. Yeah. Gonna have to go for just running along bottom of the room strats. Alright, with that, pollsmor is done with Sector 2. Just has to grab one last item on the main deck, and I'm assuming he hasn't missed anything else that we haven't noticed. He's done.
Yeah, looks good to me.
Meanwhile, Jeff about to face off against the power bomb tank right here. Oh no! This is why it sucks.
Yeah. Ugh. I've seen runners lose PBs to this room.
Yeah, that just happens sometimes. It's terrible.
Oh, Jeff. Oh.
It's
painful to watch.
This room is awful. Come on, Jeff.
Are we sure Jeff hasn't just replaced... Oh, there we go. I thought he might have just looped his video.
He's going to the bathroom. No one will ever know.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jeff going to be finishing up Sector 6, while pollsmor entering Resident Sleeper.
Yeah, longest conversation in the game.
Mm-hmm. It real long.
Jeff taking the slow but consistent route through Sector 6.
God, just shoveling the lore directly into your screaming mouth.
Lore meantime.
Exactly. I can't believe during this, the section that has the most downtime, pollsmor is actually being silent in chat.
Text is not downtime in this game. Text is far too intense.
Oh yeah, I gotta worry about that mashing. You can do it with one hand.
It's faster to do it too.
Yeah, but pollsmor's also in chat. He knows what's going on. He knows he can afford to do it with one hand if he wants to.
That's true. That's true. I don't think pollsmor is the kind to flex on an opponent like that, though.
Speaking as someone against whom pollsmor said, I can get all the save rooms in the game and still win, yes, he is very much the kind to flex on.
I see. I see.
I made him stop doing it, but he started doing it.
Oh, that's not in the spirit of things.
It's just that's just pollsmor being pollsmor. We've learned to accept this. Oh, Jeff, please. Woo.
Oh, just made it out.
I'm not actually mad at pollsmor. Don't worry about it.
There we go. SAX fight.
All right, now we're seeing pollsmor actually use a strat here that's not the one you normally see, because I mentioned it earlier. Pauls plays on keyboard, so he can't actually hold down enough buttons to do the diagonal jumping aiming strat that you see everyone else do. But his strat works.
It seems he's come up with his own strat there, getting the flare shot involved. If players don't go for the diagonal strat, they tend to just go horizontal, but don't get up close to the SX. Triple doubles! Triple doubles!
That was super clean.
PogChamps in chat, please.
Yeah, that's the kind of sax fight you hope you get every single run.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much optimal.
just has to make it back to the ship. Easy enough, right? Yeah, exactly. Let's see if we can get some zigzag through this next room.
Zigzag, zigzag.
Come on.
It looks so good, but it's so tricky.
It's really hard.
I found I can do it a little bit easier if I use both my thumbs on my GBA D-pad to get that. But it is still really hard.
Alright, going for the low height shine spark here. Oh, look, I think he got it.
Yeah, he's definitely got that.
Nice. Now he has to start dropping power bombs. He tries to get himself to 0 before he picks up the final core. But I don't think he's going to be able to do it in time. Oh! I can't believe it. Can't believe he walked right into this. Doggone it. Okay, so 250.74, that's 100%. He's got everything, no worries. And getting the quick kill on the Omega, no problems. Doing celebratory fire, I guess celebratory ice works? Is that what you'd call them? Because they're not really fireworks. And there's time.
GG for pollsmor.
Finishing up with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 7 seconds. All right. So, Jeff, actually...
Not too far behind.
Yeah, not at all. On the final big puzzle room of Sector 2 here. And then just has to go grab that final main deck item and be on his way to fight Sax. Let's see if he's going to go for the trick here. Nope. Oh, he already got the other one earlier. Okay.
Did he?
He did.
I missed that. Oh.
It's one of those things where if you're not even going to try for the other trick, then you just get it first. It's faster.
That makes sense.
Although, I'm... Okay, never mind. I got a little bit discombobulated there. For some reason, I thought he had gone too far to the left. All right, now it's worth I guess it's worth to say that pollsmor does not generally pop in for interviews, so all we can say is GG Pauls, very well played.
Yeah, well played. So, how does that change the standings? Do we have any confirmed second games yet?
Well, let me take a look. See, we'll just pull up the old bracket right here. Okay, so pollsmor winning puts him up against Monkey.
Oh, now that's a race I will definitely be around to watch.
Yeah, that's actually going to be a good one. The two of them are adjacent seeds, and Monkey is also a very strong fusion player.
Yeah, it's definitely a good matchup.
All right, so Jeff grabbing that last powerbomb tank. He's not opening his pause screen. We can't really see, but once he grabs that final blue core X, we'll be able to know if he has the numbers we need to be seeing. And
Jeff, it looks like we'll be going to fight against Mr. Guy Average in losers round 1.
And Jeff is, I'd say, pretty darn close to the end here. Just has to get through this text box, fight Sax, and then deal with Omega. So I'd say that's what, maybe 3-4 minutes? If that.
I think the text alone is about 3 minutes.
I don't think is it that long?
I think it is actually that long.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's gross, isn't it?
I think my brain just kind of checks that whenever I have to mash through text, so I don't really have a good
You
feel
just
for
kind
how
of
long it
switch
is.
off. No,
Exactly.
there's definitely a text switch in my brain that just goes 100% focused text mashing, and that's all the brain does. It doesn't think about time or anything else. It's just text.
Yeah, exactly.
I could probably recite this game at this point.
There's been an explosion in the quarantine bay.
Yeah.
So if anyone missed it the first time, you get another chance to look at Samus right in the eyes. She's going to be very surprised.
And we got in-game time coming up for pollsmor.
Let us see what we get. Say 109, maybe?
That's 100%.
108. Very
108.
nice.
GG.
All right. Jeff on his way to, I guess, not fight the Sax. Pollsmor saying it would have been a 106 if he hadn't forgotten that one missile.
Yeah. Well, then, polls, you just have to not forget it next time.
And just to point out, if Pollsmor claims that was a 106 he hadn't forgotten the item, his PB is actually a 107, which means he was on a pretty tremendous pace aside from that.
Yeah, I caught in chat earlier, he said it was PB pace until he, if he didn't pull a mini secret key.
All right, Jeff also opting to do the horizontal there. Not having to worry about the jumps does make it a little bit less stressful because it is very easy for the sacks to get loose there. And once the sacks get loose, you're just losing a lot of time.
Gonna see any doubles?
Let's find out. That one looks like it might have
Maybe.
worked.
That one wasn't. But even if you do get it, sometimes it is really hard to tell.
So doubles.
Doubles, which is still very impressive.
Yeah, for sure. No, every single double missile you get saves you seconds, so you want every one you can get. And you treasure the ones you do get. Alright, so Jeff on his way out. Just to make it back to the ship. I wonder if Jeff's going to treat us to Pogo.
We'll have to see. He might not know how to do it. That's not one of... pollsmor. This is a Metroid Fusion stream. He's flexing.
I can't believe he's playing the inferior version of Tetris.
Yeah, this version doesn't even have DAS.
Jeff unfortunately not getting himself a low height. Now here we go. It's time for the Omega. It was also very shouty. Although not
quite Ridley levels of shouty, but
yeah, and I don't know. Jeff's audio is also not quite as loud. Seems like a lot of the higher pitched sounds just aren't really coming through. But here we go. Let's take a look at those numbers. All right, looks good. And he's going for the vertical setup. He's slightly faster but more tricky to set up, and he gets it, no problem.
Very nice, very nice.
So once again, time is as soon as loss of control happens when Samus faces the screen, and time.
Good game.
Jeff finishing with that official SRL time of 1 hour, 54 minutes, and 8 seconds.
That was a very good race. Like key to
It was.
both our runners.
All right. I'm going to send Jeff that little DM, see if he wants to come in and say some words.
Come say hello, Jeff.
Time I need to pull something up. Hasn't said anything in SRL. Hasn't appeared here yet. I don't know. Might not be feeling chatty, and that's all right. No one is required to come in here and give us a chit chat. All right, Jeff confirming in the chat does not want to come in and talk. That's fine. That's fine.
I love Jeff's blunt attitude. I don't want to. Done. So that's good.
Yeah, I'll do it. But hey, everybody, this is just the start of this tournament. We've got more races coming up. Some more on the schedule here. Let's see what we got. We've got on Thursday, we've got at 2 p.m. we have, oh gosh, that's my race. I don't know. So yeah, that's I'm facing off against Boxmeister. I have a bit of a grudge match against him from last time. He knocked me out of the last tournament, so kind of want to not for blood a little bit. And we're also the two closest seeds. We're actually, our PBs are right next to each other on the leaderboard. So this should be an interesting race. Should be an interesting race.
Very interesting. Best of luck. Best of luck.
Thank you. I got a little bit more cleanup practice to do, so we'll see how that goes. And then we got some more good ones. On Friday we have two. We have Destructor versus Alfonso. That one's going to be a good one. And then we also have Noxious Nick versus, hey, that's your race.
That's me. Yeah. Yeah, I need to get a bit more practice in. No, but I'm feeling all right about it, actually. I think me and Nick are quite closely matched. So I think it should be an interesting race.
All right, well, I'm sure looking forward to it now. So make sure to come back for those, friends. It should be a good time. And in the meantime, if you want to catch some other stuff, there's plenty of stuff happening on the SpeedGaming schedule. You can check it by clicking right under the stream, or I can just tell you what's about to happen here. We've got right now starting up some Super Mario World, whatever NCNSW stands for. I'm not entirely sure, but it sounds pretty dramatic, which means that probably is pretty dramatic. And then there's all manner of Link to the Past rando dailies and tournaments happening later on, 7:59 p.m. And also Final Fantasy rando, that's still going on. So if you want a randomizer fix, boy howdy, you can find it all over the place on SpeedGaming.
Yeah, all right, Doc, you can calm down.
No, I will not calm down. I'm excited about speedruns, dang it.
115. 100%. There it is.
But I think I might just be out of things to talk about, because we already talked about what's this going to do for the schedule. We've got pollsmor facing off against Monkey, which promises to be a good one. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for that one next week when we move into round 2.
Very exciting. Well,
otherwise, what you got?
Good stuff. No, that's it for me. Thanks for joining me on commentary.
Absolutely.
Thanks to
for the tag
pollsmor
team.
and JeffersonG for wonderful race. And thanks SpeedGaming for hosting us this tournament.
Yep, we wouldn't be able to do it without them hosting it. And if you haven't already done so, please do give Pauls and Jeff G a follow. Both super cool. But I think that's going to do it for us then. Thanks for watching, everybody. And we'll see you next time.